Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. 5 escaped serious injury in Manchester crash. At least 5 people narrowly escaped serious injury following a two-vehicle collision on the Winston Jones Highway on the outskirts of Mandeville this morning. One of the vehicles landed in the precipice as a result of the collision. The other car, a Toyota Crown, had major damage. Elizabeth Faircloth was traveling in the car that went off-road. She reported that the crash happened about 6:30 a.m. She and her husband were aboard a VW motor car when the crash occurred. I can't remember what happened, but I know the car I was driving in with my husband went over into a deep embankment and I came out without a scratch, she said. This was all God, because for me to walk out of that accident, I should not be here standing and talking to this reporter. I should have been down there in the hospital or dead, she added. She didn't mask her emotion as she continued to give thanks for life that was spared. I want to tell the people of Jamaica that God is a miracle-working God that is still doing supernatural favor, that I can come out without a scratch and standing on my feet, she said.
What's your name?
Mary Jane Elizabeth.
So Elizabeth.
Okay.
Elizabeth Faircloth. You know, I was in an accident this morning. What should I say the code?
So what exactly happened? Because I see one car there in the middle of the road.
I can't remember what happened, but I know the car that I was driving with my husband, it went over into an embankment, deep embankment, and I came out without a scratch. But what I can say, God was in this. This was all God. Because for me to walk out from that accident, I should not be here standing here talking to this reporter. I should have been down there in the hospital or dead. But I want to tell people of Jamaica that God is a miracle-working God that is still do supernatural favor, that I could come out without a scratch and standing on my 2 feet and giving the testimony to God to say God is awesome, and to tell people out there, if you're not serving God, it's time to turn your life around and serve God. Let me be a testimony that God could save me from such a horrible accident and standing here talking this morning. I give God the glory, I give him the honor, and I give him the praises.
Okay. Do you have an idea about what time this happened? It's about
around 6:30 something.
Okay.
This morning.
And how many persons were in your vehicle?
Myself and my husband.
Right. Who was driving?
My husband.
All right.
Thompson hero rebounds in 100-meter at Paris Diamond League. Olympic Games sprinter double champion Elaine Thompson hero rebounded from her loss on Thursday to win the women's 100-meter at the Paris Diamond League this morning, Jamaica time, setting a new meet record of 10.72 seconds. In the absence of her great rival and compatriot Shelly Fraser-Pryce, Thompson hero was not challenged as he streaked away from the field to win by a clear margin, breaking the meet record 10.74 seconds set in 2015 by Fraser-Pryce. Shericka Jackson, who was third in her last 3 meets in the 100-meter against Thompson hero, was second in 10.97 seconds, with Great Britain Dina Asher-Smith taking third in 11.06 seconds. A third Jamaican, Natasha Morris, was fourth in 11.9 seconds as the run of 3 straight 1-2-3 finishes its margin 100-meter finals by Jamaicans women ended. Williams win 100-meter hurdles in season's best at Paris Diamond League. Former world champion Danielle Williams won the 100-meter hurdles event at the Paris Diamond League on Saturday morning, Jamaican time, winning a season's best of 12.50 seconds. Williams, who failed to make the Jamaican team to the Tokyo Olympics improved on her previous season's best of 12.62 seconds, winning on the Diamond League circuit for the first time this season. Olympic bronze medalist Megan, who got off to a fast start and led to the midpoint of the race, was third in 12.66 seconds as Nadine set a new Dutch national record of 12.58 seconds to finish in second place. Elderly man drowned in Clarendon during heavy rains. An elderly man drowned in Logwood Racecourse, Clarendon yesterday as heavy rains associated with Hurricane Ida pelted Jamaica. 78-year-old Dennis Jackson is believed to have been swept away. The police say Jackson was riding along the Longwood Main Road when he is believed to have fallen into difficulties. A resident stumbled on the body of the elderly man in a drain this morning. Some roads cleared, several others remain inaccessible. Several of the roadways across the island that were blocked due to heavy rainfall from Hurricane Ida have been cleared and are now accessible to the public. This includes the Bagwalk Garden in St. Catherine, Hanover's Pondside heading to Cascade, and Cave Valley Town in St. Anne, which are now accessible to motorists. Likewise, in Manchester, the Winston Jones Highway, Devon Main Road in Christiana, Top Alston in Ballyston Main Road, and Silent Hill to Christiana Main Road are now passable. However, in Clarendon, the Gravel Hill Main Road vicinity of the bridge in the Milk River area and the Alley Main Road vicinity of the bridge in the area remain impassable, while the Coffee Peace community remains inaccessible. Motorists are being advised to continue to avoid St. Elizabeth Paintown Main Road heading towards Darleystand and Nestcastle to Hagley's Gap in St. Thomas, which remained impassable. Motorists are further advised to use alternative routes where necessary and obey the instructions of the officers on duty. Police reminder: curfew begins at 6 p.m. today, start of 3 days no movement period. The police are reminding members of the public that the night curfew, which begins at 6 p.m. today, also marks the start of a 3-day no movement period as stipulated by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. During the 3-day period, 52 categories of people have been granted leave to transverse to and from work. These include members of parliament, councillors, judges, persons working in the healthcare sector, persons working in the oil and gas industry, and farmers. People traveling to and from vaccination sites are also exempted. Exemptions have also been given for individuals working in the tourism sector and those journeying to and from hotels, including people entering and departing the island. Individuals providing transportation services to others in the exempt category are also covered. However, the police are reminding all individuals who fall into the exempt category to ensure that they have proper identification and, where necessary, authorization letters to establish the legitimacy of their claim when stopped by the police. The full list of exempt persons can be found on the Jamaica Constabulary Force website at www.jcf.gov.jm. Individuals can also clarify from their local police or contact the JCF COVID Response Center at 876-702-5102 or 876-702-5108-9. Flash flood warning discontinued for all parishes. The Meteorological Service has discontinued the flash flood warning for low-lying and flood-prone areas of all parishes effective immediately. This comes as the newly developed hurricane moves away from the island and towards Mexico, where it is expected to move over the southeastern Gulf of Mexico Saturday and over the north-central Gulf of Mexico on Sunday. The hurricane is then expected to make landfall along the U.S. northern Gulf Coast within the hurricane warning area by late Sunday or early Monday. Rapid strengthening in the forecast during the next 24 to 36 hours as the hurricane is expected to be an extremely dangerous major hurricane when it approaches the North Gulf Coast on Sunday. Weakening is expected after the hurricane makes landfall. Meanwhile, the Met Service said a high-pressure ridge now builds across Jamaica, noting that satellite imagery and radar reports indicated a decrease in shower activity over the last several hours, with a gradual return to improved weather conditions across the island. The forecast is for partly cloudy and windy conditions across the island. 835 new COVID cases recorded in Jamaica, 18 deaths. Jamaica recorded 835 new cases of the COVID-19 and 18 virus-related deaths on Friday, pushing the total number of confirmed cases on the island since the outbreak to 65,734 and the confirmed deaths to 1,483. The new cases comprised of 493 females and 342 males, with ages ranging from 1 day to 97 years. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, 178 of the cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine 170, St. James 92, Manchester 90, Clarendon 64, St. Anne 52, St. Elizabeth 48, Westmoreland 42, Trelawney 36, Hanover 31, Portland 21, St. Mary 7, and 4 in St. Thomas. Meanwhile, the latest deceased comprised of a 56-year-old male from St. Mary, an 83-year-old male from St. James, a 64-year-old female from St. Anne, a 70-year-old male from St. Anne, an 88-year-old male from St. Elizabeth, a 78-year-old female from Clarendon, a 74-year-old female from Westmoreland, a 78-year-old male from Clarendon, a 75-year-old male from St. Anne, a 101-year-old female from St. Anne, a 72-year-old female from Trelawney, a 66-year-old female from St. Catherine, an 83-year-old female from Westmoreland, a 51-year-old female from St. James, a 72-year-old female from Kingston and St. Andrew, an 84-year-old male from Westmoreland, a 62-year-old male from Portland, and a 51-year-old female from St. James. The ministry said 17 of the deaths occurred between August 23rd and 26. One death, which was previously under investigation, occurred on August 16, while one of the new cases being reported today died. The ministry further reported 60 new recoveries, which pushed the total recoveries to 48,028. There are now 15,811 active cases on the island. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.